And there's a number of other red flags it goes over. This is an old post, but it's still interesting. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy Hex. I'm not saying Hex is a bad investment. You know, disclaimer. You don't hate me if you're a Hex cultist if you watch this video. I'm just trying to explain to you, you know, what makes a good community. A good community is a cult. Hex was a cult. It was probably the best performing token. As you saw, it went up 9,500%. Sorry, 9,500x, which is an absolutely insane return. Right? Hex was probably I think it was the best performing asset in all of crypto, as far as I'm aware, or one of the best. Right? And it was a cult. You know, like, that was one of the main factors. It was Richard Hart's ability to create at scale a cult community. Right? Even though this coin was so big, it was still a cult. Now, I want to go over another case study of a really good community, and it's a project called Monad. So Monad's a layer 1, like Solana, like DOT, any of those other layer 1s. It's the same sort of shit. And they're building one of the strongest communities right now in crypto, and this is the project that I said I actually became a useful holder in. So let's look at the founder's Twitter account. What does he call himself? He calls himself the cult leader of Monad. What did we just say about cults? We just said that the best cryptos are cults. He views himself as a cult leader, right? Funny that, isn't it? I want to show you some sort of experiences that people on Twitter have had with Monad, which can sort of support what I'm saying here. The Monad Discord is an experience. Keone pops in from time to time to answer smart or silly questions. Bill is constantly shipping new events. Discord vibes and culture immaculate. Community is a ground layer for any crypto project. When I was forming my Solana thesis, the stickiness of the community, users and builders was the most heavily weighted criteria. In my book, Monad scores 9 out of 10 on this metric. Got to survive the test of time and FUD to get to 10. Okay? So Bill talks about here, the founder of Monad, 5 ways to spot a ripping community. Community is a strong reflection of a project's potential. Instead of doing blah, blah, blah. So here's the 5 things. Time to last message. Quality of the chat. This is a big one. So if you join a chat and it's just when token, when moon, you know, when update, why is the coin going down? Shit community, avoid. If it's all... If you join a community and you can't understand what's being said, that's a really good sign, because it's showing you that there's a culture and a specific law that exists that's been curated, and it's showing you that they're fucking passionate. They're passionate about this coin, and generally only smart people are going to be able to you know, run a project where they create their own law, and it's a good sign of the quality of the team behind the project. And like he says here, do they have an insider language? That's a really, really crucial component. Have they invented their own slang? If you go in Monad, they've got like 50 of their own slang terms. Do people feel like they know each other? Visual language. Do they use distinctive emojis, stickers, memes? Comments on posts. So whenever you see people talking about a particular coin, are they all saying the same thing, or is there depth to the community and what they talk about with the coin? Social proof. You know, how many smart people are in the Discord? That's obviously another really big one. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good overview of community. Now, let's talk about this guy's post. He says that he's really excited about 2 ecosystems. It's Monad and Berachain. They share one really important thing that makes a lot of projects succeed, and it's a really solid community. One of the best examples of a solid community is Solana in the last bull run, and also this bull run. Solana is the only token that has shown this bull run that it has the possibility to achieve multi-cycle outperformance. It's also the top 3 in terms of developers of any coin in the crypto ecosystem. And it's got, you know, I think it's got a top 2 DeFi ecosystem. It's getting close to being better than Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem. So Solana has one of the strongest communities in crypto, and that has led to what you would call the stickiness of the developers, of the holders, of the builders of this ecosystem. And that's what you really, really want to see for an investment in crypto, that people don't want to leave. Even if the coin goes down, even if a bear market comes, even if times get tough, do people stick around? And right, another way to look at it is like, if you're with a girl and times have been really tough and she's still stuck by you, that's a wifey, right? That's someone you want to stick with. If a coin went through shit times, went through a bear market, went through a lot of FUD, and the community stuck with it, that's a wifey. That's a coin you want to put a ring on. That's something you want to hold for the long term. Okay? Now let's see if there's anything else they wrote here. I think that's it. Now I want to show you what the Discord community looks like for Monad. Okay? I was actually about to watch that YouTube video about that fucking Jack Doherty kid. I don't know who he is, but I saw a video about him recently, so that's why that's there. But let's talk about the Monad community. So this is the Monad Discord server. If you go into the general chat, you can just basically we'll get a little bit of a vibe for it. So you can see that everyone in the Discord has a Monad related profile picture. So Monad is the purple frog, okay? That's like their vibe. And they have their own little culture, right? They're all sending particular types of memes. They're all just talking shit. The chat is very active. This one isn't as active as it usually is, but you know, you can see people are talking. There's a newbie chat, which is always popping. And if you go into the trade and DeFi chat, it's actually really high quality. There's a lot of smart people talking in here about the markets. Now, they've also got a Mon artist room, so you can see how much art is being sent. This was about 2 days ago, so you can see how much has been sent in the past couple of days. There's just tons of art being created. Memes, tons of memes being created. There's just thousands and thousands of memes. This doesn't even have a token yet. There's a room where everyone shares tweets about Monad, and basically everyone just engages with these tweets. And that just basically allows for just hyper growth, right? Remember I said the best projects teach their holders how to be good affiliate marketers. Well, basically they just put all the guys... They say anyone who tweets about Monad, put it here, and everyone will engage with your tweet, right? So it just creates this hyper network affiliate Ponzi scheme growth effect where everyone just retweets each other and just grow into infinity and take over all of crypto. Now, what else we got? There's a voice channel. Every time I come in here, there's people in the voice channel talking. That's always a good sign. And yeah, so that's a bit of an overview of the community, right? Like that guy Bill said, those are the main attributes you want to look out for. You want to see that there's a unique culture, there's a vibe. People have their own. Everyone has the profile picture of the fucking frogs, and yeah, that's what you want to look for. Now, how do you spot a strong community? So we just sort of went over that, but I've got a few more things here. So, does the token have outlier price action? One of the strongest communities of this bull run was Casper, and we talk about how Casper, at the exact Bitcoin bottom in November 2022, Casper hit new all-time highs, and how Casper has had its own price action this entire bull run. And the reason it's had its own price action is it just has a very, very passionate, strong community. Does the project have its own unique culture, law, vibe? We've sort of gone over that. Is there a die-hard core holder base who can't stop talking about the coin? Well, go on Twitter. There's people who just can't stop fucking tweeting about Monad. Even I couldn't stop talking about Monad for like a month. How much of the supply is locked? I mean, in Monad's example, there's no token, but for example, Solana, how many Solana is staked? How many of the tokens are staked or locked? How active is their Discord or Telegram? Is it just retards asking basic questions? So as you could see in Monad, there was a much higher quality of conversation. It's not just when moon, when token, when. It's people like just talking shit. It doesn't have to be high quality. It could just be people talking shit. See, look, this is like high value conversation. Right, he's sending shit. I think the community was a lot stronger 2 weeks ago, but it still sort of shows you what I mean. How How active? Okay, we've gone over that one. Is there a thriving developer ecosystem? How quality is the developer talent that they attract? So another thing that Bill tweeted was, so Pancakes Bra was one of the founders or co-founders or original team members of what's it called? Friendtech, the social trading platform. And they fucked him over and he left. And the day he left, he got hired by Monad, which is a really, really smart play because this guy has basically, being on the team of one of the fastest growing protocols in crypto, which was Friendtech, which made them tens of millions of dollars. And now they want him on Monad. So Monad is basically just poaching all of the smartest developer talent in the market. And we're going to get into why builders are important for a project's success. So yeah, you want to look into the developer ecosystem, right? This guy would not have gone and worked at Monad if he thought Monad was shit. So clearly Monad must be good and have a strong community, have a strong vibe that he wants to be a part of, because developers want to be a part of communities, right? That's why they fucking build things. They want to be around people who build cool shit, right? There must be something here that you need to look into. Another thing, is the team actually good at community building and scaling culture? So for example, Solana I think is a good example of scaling culture, and I think Monad is too. So what Monad did as an example of scaling culture is to be able to get into the entire server. You start off in the newbie chat, and you have to prove that you're a human. So proof of human is just done through conversating in the newbie chat. You conversate in here enough, the mods recognize you're real, they add you into the rest of the server. And even beyond this, there's a private 999 person Telegram chat, which you only get access to, assuming other people have been kicked out, and that maybe you have to be good enough in the rest of the community to get in. And I'm not even in there yet, okay? And I advise $50 million in assets, and I run a pretty solid brand online, and I'm still not in there. So that's to show you how tough it is to get into this sort of room. And the reason that this relates back to scaling culture is because they don't just let 3,000 retards enter the server, they're able to make sure that each person within this room has the basic foundational level of culture to then go on into the rest of the rooms, right? Because if you add 3,000 people without the culture, they're going to out-talk the ones with the culture, and it's going to completely fundamentally change the conversations that happen, and it's going to lower the quality of conversation massively. So you need to, filter. You need to ask yourself, do these projects have filtering mechanisms? Are they able to scale culture? This is one method. There's a number of ways that you can go about scaling the culture and making sure that everyone's on the same page. How much engagement does their social media get? So if I go on here, right, this guy's got 4,000 followers. Let's see how much engagement his tweets get. 100 likes. 100 likes. Right, 150, 120, 130. What about this original tweet over here? How much? Okay, not too bad. What about Monad? Let's see how much engagement Monad gets. They have 140k followers. They get 2.5k. They get really good engagement considering the amount of followers they have, right? And they're tweeting good content too. Now, another thing is, has their community changed their profiles to project specific imagery? Let's go to the comment section of this one, of this, for example. All right, where is it at? Okay, here's one. He's got the profile. Here's another. I don't think that's one. I don't think this is a good example. Let me go into the nads on Twitter. Let's see if this guy...